It's Thursday. I'm in here recording my show. I'm on today at 11 p.m. So if you're listening, thanks for staying up with me. I appreciate it. Um, y'all. I mean, it means a lot to me. That y'all are staying up till 11 to hear me and support me, and it means a lot because this is my dream to be on the radio and to talk about sports, talk about whatever. So I really appreciate y'all for whoever's listening, and I mean, even if it's two of y'all, man, I really appreciate it. I love y'all. Thanks for the love and support, and hey, if you hit me up on Facebook or Twitter, Facebook I'm Tillman Parker, Twitter Swagcat9. I'll be sure to give you a shout out or something. Maybe even get you in here on the show with me. I'm allowed to bring people in here. I'm allowed to have like guest speakers or whatever. So, just let me know. You can come in, you can be on the show with me, and we could talk about, whatever. Talk about sports, whatever I talk about on the show. It's cool. But to get on with the show, to get the show going on, the show must go on. I got Wale, Get Me Though in the background. It's one of my favorite songs, Wale and 2 Chainz. I'm on the internet again, and the draft is coming up. All right, the NFL draft is right around the corner, and the Redskins. A lot of people are saying that we're going to be a very competitive team this year. Skip Bayless keeps saying it's going to be the Redskins' Super Bowl year. Now, I'm a diehard Redskins fan. Love the team. Love the team since I was born. Never ever had another NFL team. The Redskins have been my team since forever. I got my Sean Taylor shirt on right now. Sean Taylor was my favorite player. When I started playing football in high school, I actually went out and bought a pair of shoulder pads that looked like Sean Taylor's shoulder pads so I could look more like Sean Taylor. I used to wear my high socks, try to wear high socks like Sean Taylor. Sean Taylor was, that was my role model in terms of like football. So, I mean, when he died, that broke my heart, man. I feel my prayers go out to his family because it's tough to lose somebody like that. It doesn't seem fair, but man, it's just tough, So, I mean, my prayers go out to his family and all the other fans of Sean Taylor because I know, me personally, it's just when that happened, man, I don't even know how to like describe it. It hurt so bad, man. So I can't even begin to think about what his family must have went through. So prayers go out to them, even though it's been a while. You never really fully recover for something like that. So prayers go out to the Taylor family, and my condolences. But the Redskins are in need of a safety now, because last year we lost LaRon Landry, and he was part of that what they call him, the Area 51. Sean Taylor and LaRon Landry, they're supposed to be just beast town. We lost him to the Jets last year. I think he's playing for is it the Colts? I don't know. He just got picked up by somebody. I gotta check it out. But this year we need a safety because I think we lost Madu Williams. I believe we still have Merriweather, but he played maybe 5 games last year. He's very injury prone. Reed Dowdy is a good backup. I don't trust him to start though. I like him as a player. I don't like him as a consistent starter. So I think since we re-signed D Hall, and I think we're still in talks with Winfield, I think we need to shift our attention from corner to safety. And there's a couple safeties that WSA 9 posted an article. Their options during the draft, Redskins options, and all of them are safeties. And I looked at the highlight tapes. You got Bakari Rambo from Georgia. They have write-ups on all these guys. I'll read them off for you. Bakari Rambo, the second team all SEC safety, is exactly what the Redskins need. Last year, Washington lacked a safety that would give their corners help over the top. Rambo addresses that need. The Bulldog is a ball hawk with good hands. He will aggressively challenge receivers on deep routes and with his 6'1" frame and 34-inch vertical win a few jump balls. Now I watched his highlight tape, and everything they said about this guy is true, but he doesn't really seem, I don't know, he doesn't really seem mean. I like the safeties that are like, That dude could hurt you. And I'm looking at what website is this? This is WalterFootball.com. Their draft rankings. They have Bakari Rambo ranked 7 among all safeties. He ran a 4.5, which isn't bad. I mean, it's not. I mean, he's 6'2", 218. They got him 6'2", 218. That's not bad. But I mean, I'm not really like wowed by him. I think he's going to be a decent player in the league. I don't know if he's going to be a star. I mean, you never know with these guys with the draft. It's the lottery every time, so you never know. The next guy they have on here is Ray Armstrong, and I'm looking for him. I didn't see him on WalterFootball.com. I'm going up and down the list right now. The only Miami safety I see on here is Vaughn Telemac. He's a free safety from Miami, 6'2", 211, ran a 4.5. Might as well call that a 4.6 though. It's a 4.59. So still looking. I don't see this guy. I don't see this guy. They say his write-up is the former Miami Hurricane was regarded as the best safety in college football his junior year. However, before his senior season, he was kicked off the team after multiple conduct issues. He didn't play football in 2012, but proved he still has his quickness when he ran a 4.24 show time. He lacks elite speed, but is not only an asset in coverage, but also in run support. He could be a steal in day 3 of the draft for Mike Shanahan. Besides, given the Skins' recent success with Miami players, Armstrong should fit right in. So this guy isn't expected to go until day 3, which is like round 6 and 7, if at all, because I don't even see him on WalterFootball.com rankings. I think I recognize this guy. I think he's like 6'4", maybe like 230. He looks big in his highlight tape. He looks like a very good tackler. They don't really have a lot of him in coverage, but I tell you what, he's big. He plays for Miami. He wore 26, so you know what he reminds me of. That's right. So looking at this guy, I think that if he is around in day 3 or later picks, we should pick him up because, I mean, I don't see any other pressing needs other than, I think safety and middle linebacker. I think we're straight on offense. We might. I was looking at this other article from what's this? This is was it Sports Nation, hogshaven.com. A lot of people are interested in this guy from TCU, Josh Boyce. He's projected to go in round 5. If he's there, I'd say go ahead. I think he's a pretty good player. He could be a good replacement for Santana Moss when Santana leaves. He's 5'11", 206. He might be alright in the slot. So I'd say give him a look. But other than that, I think the pressing needs on the team as a whole would be middle linebacker and safety. So these safety prospects, I think, is what we really need to be looking for. The next safety is John Cyprin. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. He's from FIU. Cyprin's draft stock is rising so quickly, he may not be on the board by the time the Skins pick in the 2nd round. The FIU playmakers highlight reel ranges from big play interceptions to big hits that level his pass catching opponents. I'm not calling this guy the next Sean Taylor because I know how well respected the former safety is in DC. But Cyprin sure makes you have flashbacks. This guy's a beast. I watched a little bit of him. He is rising pretty quick. They have him ranked as the number 3 safety in the draft right now. He's 6 foot 209, projected in the 1st or 2nd round. Apparently this guy had like 93 tackles in 2012, so he seems like a really good run support safety. He's not my favorite safety. My favorite safety is my favorite safety is next up. This guy Matt Elam. This guy is a beast. Like my dream is getting Elam with our first pick in the 2nd round, and maybe Ray Armstrong later in the draft. Because Elam, if you watch this dude's highlight tape, I really want y'all to go and watch this guy's highlight tape. He is mean. All right. Let me read his thing real quick. I know I started talking him up before I even read it. All right, safety Matt Elam. Considering that he was named a first-team All-American, Elam may be a second-round steal for the Skins. Thing is, he's not exactly what Washington needs. The former Gator is a big hitter and a good run supporter, but is not necessarily strong in coverage. Washington has enough safeties. Oh man, hold up. Ad just popped up right on top of the paragraph. Washington has enough safeties that play the run, but Elam could be a project player that could pay off down the road. Yeah. Not only that, I think he's better than the safeties that we have that play the run. Because I don't see anybody coming up hitting like that. That dude, like, if we get him and Armstrong, like, this dude is your typical strong safety, you know? He comes up, he lays the wood. And, you know, I think we need that on our defense. We don't really have a lot of that. Like, I watched every game, so, like, we don't have DBs that like to come up. Like, this dude, he looks like he's trying to hurt you every time he hits you. I know that sounds really, I mean, bad when you say it, but when you're playing football in the National Football League, you can't be a nice guy. You know, you gotta come up, you gotta have that mean streak in you, especially if you're playing defense. Especially if you, what's this guy? He's like 5'11", 5'10", 208. The National Football League, there's big dudes out there. I mean, you gotta have a mean streak in you if you want to play, if you want to be successful. So, I mean, I like the way this guy plays the game, and I think if he's around, I think we should take him. I also have no problem with Bakari Rambo, the guy from Georgia. He reminds me of Ed Reed the way he goes. He just goes for the ball. You know, he's a ball hawk. Of course, I seen him lay some wood in his highlight tapes, but he looks like the typical, I'm going for the interception and the fumble strip, the forced fumble. He doesn't seem like a, you know, like a big, you know, big hit stick layer, you know. So he reminds me a lot of Ed Reed, going up and getting the ball, forcing the fumbles, you know, running them back for touchdowns. You know, that's what this guy's all about. He wants to get the ball. He wants to score. He wants to make a game-changing play. And I have no problem with that. He looks like a good player. So I think Elam is going in the second round, which I think he probably will be. I don't think we're going to have a chance to pick him up. I think the next person we need to look at is Bakari Rambo. And somebody that's not on this list that I think is really good is the guy Eric Reed from LSU. He's 6'2", 212. I watched him play a couple times because I was watching Claiborne and Honey Badger. I think this dude makes a lot of plays. I think he's a really good football player. So I think that he's also someone we need to look at. There's also a guy from Alabama in this draft. What's his name? Robert Lester. I think he wore like number 47. He's not fast. He ran a 4.6. So if he's like, they have him projected around 4 through 6, you know, later rounds. If we don't get anybody that we like in the second round, I think that him and Ray Armstrong are two late rounders that, you know, are good to look at as, you know, project players. There's also a guy coming out of Richmond, Cooper Taylor. Didn't watch him play, have never seen him play, but this guy is supposedly 6'5", 235. And in the 5th or 6th round, I mean, you're not really expecting a lot. So, I mean, if this is like 5'6", 235, he ran a 4.6. That's pretty slow, but I mean, I think he deserves a look just because he's that big. And to put size on our team, because I mean, we don't have a very big team. We got big size on the line, but you know, London Fletcher, he's 5'9". Perry's a big dude, but he's not really like dang, Perry's big. I mean, our two outside backers are big, but then you got the corners, D Hall and Josh Wilson, the midgets. They like 5'10". So, you know, some size won't hurt you. So, I think he deserves a look. But, I mean, out of these safeties, I think this is another guy. What's his name? Philip Thomas out of Fresno. He's pretty good. They have him on here. His write-up. Washington fans have already gone to YouTube and drafted Thomas to the team. What's not to like about this guy? He has size, he's a good tackler, and he creates turnovers. He led the nation in interceptions with 8, returning 3 for touchdowns. In college, Thomas did everything you'd want for your safety to do, and I believe he can either play free or strong. I think he's a good pickup too if he's still around. Let me look for this guy. I just seen him. All right, here he is. Slated for around 2 or 3. He's on the board. I take him too. He seems like a really good in coverage. So I think there's options here at safety, and I think that's what we need to look at going into the draft. I think that's what we need. I think we need to stop looking at the corners because I think we're pretty set at corner. Even if we don't sign Winfield, I like Crawford. I think Crawford did a really good job last year in his rookie season. And I don't think he was expected to do that well. So I'd put our faith in the guys we already have, especially since D'Angelo Hall. A lot of people have a problem with him. I like D Hall. I think he's made a lot of improvements since he got here, especially on his tackling. He's not the best tackling corner in the league, but he makes his fair share of tackles now. So I think that we can get by with Wilson, Crawford, and Hall. Even though they're all pretty small, I think they're all very good in coverage. I don't think Josh Wilson is very good in coverage. I think they're all decent in coverage to the point where we won't be the worst secondary in the league if we just, cut our losses and drafted a safety or two and kept those 3 corners on the field. So I have faith in our secondary as long as we can get 2 good prospects at the safety position. I also think we need to go for middle linebackers. So I didn't plan on this, but I'm going to check out the inside backers on walterfootball.com, see they have, in the rankings. They have this guy, Alec Ogletree, rated number 1. He's not going to make it towards us. Manti Teo, rated number 2. He's not going to make it to us. This dude, Kevin Minter, is slated for rounds 2 and 3. You got Kiko Alonso from Oregon, 2 to 4, and Jonathan Bostic from Florida. He's slated as a second round pick? No, third to fourth round pick. I haven't seen a lot of these guys. I saw the dude Kiko Alfonso play a couple of times because I used to like watching Oregon. Because who doesn't like watching Oregon? Oregon is just so fun to watch. I think he's an alright player. I think he's pretty good. So, there's also a guy, Nico Johnson, out of Alabama. He's slated for rounds 4 to 6. I think anybody from Alabama that was on that defense deserves a look because they were just so good. Anybody coming out of that defense, they're going to have a mean streak. They're going to be very well polished in fundamentals. I think that if we check out guy from Alabama, maybe the guy from Oregon. Other than that, I really wish we could have got that guy from Georgia because he's just a beast. Ogletree, he's a monster. So I wish we got him. And Manti, he's pretty good, even though people are hating on him for that performance in the national championship. He's still a really good player. You don't make it to Heisman finalists off of being, just a okay player. So Manti Teo, I think, is going to have a really good NFL career. I don't really. Nobody else is really popping out at me. Thank God we still have London Fletcher and Perry. Because if London Fletcher, because a lot of people didn't know that he didn't tell the Redskins he was coming back till I think right before free agency started. Because he needed surgery. He got the surgery right before free agency started. So a lot of people were nervous that he wasn't really coming back. So thank God he's coming back, and we still got Perry. But I think we're going to be all right. Hopefully the Redskins, can defend our championship. NFC East. Let's get it. HTTR. But right now, we're going to get into the music. I got a couple good songs for you. I got a good show planned out. Half the show is talking. The rest of the show is going to be music. So stay tuned here on But Blazing It's Radio. I'm Swag Cat 9. We on XFSR. Let's get the party started.